Go straight to it.
Okay.
To the Constitution Electoral. Is it you or DS?
I think it's DS, but I'll be here.
Is it yes.
Shall we rise to take the prayer, opening prayer again? Creator and ruler of to one another, help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace in my country, to be faithful to God. Honorable members, honorable colleagues, we have come to the end of the legislative session. We will shortly adjourn for the annual recess and a greater commitment to the service of the Nigerian people in whose name we assembled in these hallowed chambers and on whose behalf and triumph. We have lost members. It has been a remarkable year of tragedy and triumph, and we have lost members of this House, friends and colleagues who served with us. We have seen an increased space lives, and we pray God's House of Representatives failed attempts over 2 decades shortly be transmitted to the President for accent after proper harmonization with the Senate. Electoral Act Amendment Bill that has been laid before us by the committee. This is part of our continued effort, and the world is watching. I encourage all members to vote their conscience, informed only by the best interest of the country and our people. It has been mentioned to me the electronic voting system in the House is meant for single item number of clauses. As such, the system is fully deployed. A special summit on national security convened by the House of Representatives to seek solutions to the problem of insecurity in Nigeria via legislative action. The constitutional amendment process in the House of Representatives continues expectations of our fellow citizens. Then a wholesale review of the Constitution with the express intention of crafting a document that reflects the democratic ideal and at the same time resolves our past. These are a commitment in when good faith efforts by the House of Representatives to address questions of law and regulation, the fact that some of these reactions are for profit and ambition that makes all constructive collaboration to make grievances, to create chaos, but stand ever ready to. And the challenges we face are significant. Those problems will not be made less real, nor will we overcome tribe against tribe, region against region, religion against religion, partisan against partisan. Citizens and leaders alike have choices to make about our future, about the country we want to live in, your difficulties. Some other choices will sometimes cause us to disagree. We must decide at this moment in time whether we are prepared to learn from and call on the lessons of our history so that we may be. Let us work to re-establish in a calm. We are family, bound one to another, and we must look out for each other. Distinguished efforts by governments and others. It is time for us now to take the same precautions of personal hygiene and social interaction that we did last year when the pandemic was at its most. Let us take the opportunity of this recess to speak to our constituents, aware that though much has been achieved, there remains many challenges that task us, that require of us. This recess is therefore our concerns, so that when we return and advocating for our people, service in this House of Representatives, to examine ourselves and assess the improvements are needed and where we need to do better than we did in the past year. To this end, all committee assignments, except for the Committee on Finance working on the MTEF and Internal Security. Let me say once more that it is a great honor to serve as Speaker of this 9th House of Representatives. I am eternally agreements are willing to set aside a good recess. May God. We have a full is been waiting for the other paper, but I think there are one or two.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The recent deaths are so porous, Delta variant, and doing about the Delta variant, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. As many of you who are adept, he wanted to bring that by way of most not proper under personal expression. Honourable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 37 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
National Eye Care Center, Kaduna Establishment ETC Act Amendment Bill 2021. Electronic Government E-Government Bill 2021, first reading. National Center for Agricultural Mechanization Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Fiscal Responsibility Development Agency establishment. Family Support 1, first reading. Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, first reading. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. National Directorate of Transparency Initiative Act Amendment Bill 2021, first reading. Agricultural Control of Importation Establishment ETC Bill 2020. National Institute for Agriculture Edo State Establishment Bill 2020. Nigeria Police Act. Artificial Intelligence Delta Natural Disaster Reserve Fund 1, first reading.
For an act to provide legal governance regulation, Mogono is invited to present the report.
Assembly apply for the bill to be
ASAC.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kiruka Onyejo. I represent the good people of Isukwatumu, the report of African Caribbean of the OACPS, EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly, and 29th October.
Right.
May I move that the House Assembly of the 57th session of the OACPS Parliamentary Assembly, OACPS-PA, and on 23rd to 20. And Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do receive the report of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States Parliamentary Assembly and ACP-EU Joint Parliamentary Assembly of the 59th session of the ACP-EU, 14th, 17th.
The second all three reports.
I represent the good people of the Deputy Whip. Using one stone.
The fourth business plan, rolling plan, standing of
constituency on the proposed 2018 to 2020 external borrowing rolling plan. I so move. Elokumo is my name. I rise to second.
your report. Federation 2015 to 2018.
I am Oluwole Okay. I represent the entire people of Ijesha North. The reports of the committee 2015 to 2018 financial years. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
My name is Benjamin. Okay, I'm from Abia State. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Please lay your report, Leadership. And members will recall that the bill was read.
Kano State is an institution to establish
Uchenna Eke motion that the House do.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Please lay your report, Honorable Danaguri. Seventh business of the day is presentation of Ogara in Delta State, and for later the report is ready for presentation. Honorable B.
Thank you, I represent the very to seek the leave of this on a bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center, Ogara, in Delta State, and for related.
start to second the motion as moved by my colleague. Thank you, sir.
Those against me say nay. Go ahead.
Please, Victor, take your seat. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I thank you, Right Honorable members, my respected colleagues. My very respected colleagues, I come from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to take Bill number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as chronologically reflected on the order paper so that we can repeal the National Health Insurance Scheme Act Cap, laws of the Federation N42 of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of federal or Kyogun and for related matters HB 1210, a bill for an act to establish federal medical third time. Mr. Speaker, on
the mic, please. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and my great colleagues. I'm Comrade Peter here in the House. Mr. Speaker, I should second.
I guess 1 to 6.
Act, Cap N42, regulate the profession of forestry in Nigeria State and for related matters. Reading. A bill for an act Federal Medical Center hung Adamawa.
Sir, we will take your seat.
We're going to go straight to the 9th order of the day. The 9th order of Sciences Just Act. Forces leading to the award of degrees. I don't remember, will recall that the bill was. I have to get it back. Hold on, please, 1 second.
Member of this Technology Science, Just Act 2018, and enact the Federal College of Medical Laboratory Technology and other related courses.
Rise to support our
Mr. Speaker,
Those against me say nay.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to repeal the Federal School of Medical Laboratory Tech certificates in medical.
A bill for an act to amend the National Center for.
Sorry,
say that again.
And institutions.
Not health institutions?
Yes, sir.
Accordingly, you have the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the National Center, National Center for Women Development. 2020, and now invite Honorable Yojo Chad to.
That constituency, I am from and for 20 related matters. Be read.
and I represent the good people, the deputy.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker, Federation of Nigeria 2004, second reading.
14th order of the day is do that, then other people will get up and say that. Keep all the order so we can get to the other. Now you're saying after our own. Honorable Leader, move your.
Mr. Speaker, may I move that the bill for an act to provide for the legal framework to upgrade the General Hospital.
Please.
My dear colleagues, I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those against please say nay.
Honorable Speaker,
Fourteenth order of the day for prisons within their states. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read.
As amended to prisons within their states for be read a second.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, My name is Olumide Babatunde Oshoba. I represent Abeokuta North, Obafemi second.
To reduce the size of government, which is federalism. This is a public CI. Those against the ayes have it.
A bill for an act to alter legislative authority similar to that of the federal government for prisons within their states or from one state to another.
17th order, we're skipping a couple. 17th order.
Honorable Henry, Mr. Speaker.
The motion on need for the federal government to do.
Mr. Speaker, in commercial quantity.
Any seconder? Honorable Manusoro.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues.
We finished.
I'm Mansour by my brother, Honorable Yakubu Shehu Abdullahi. I so second.
Thank you. Motion moved by Honorable Abubakar, seconded by Honorable Manusoro. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, please, we've just resolved an issue from the executive. Let us say aye. Everybody, please be seated.
This thing is supposed to come by way of a bill.
Which one?
This motion, so you can find it.
We're going to move to consideration of reports. To take all the considerations, or should we just? We have a few we should have debated it now. The 23rd establishment of Federal College of Education 2021. The leader will move. The
23. Honorable members, I represent the people of an act to provide for the establishment. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Adigo, I represent.
Say aye. Just for an act to make comprehensive provisions in all institutions and for related matters.
Thank you once again, Right Honorable Speaker. Take Order 2425 of sexual harassment of students. A bill for an act to provide dermatological treatment, research and training, and for related matters, HB 138, a Senate bill, and a bill for an act to provide a legal framework for the establishment of Federal Medical Center, movie.
Thank you.
Honorable members, I so move.
Honorable Anayo, please second.
Thank you.
Say nay. Ayes have it. Electoral Act number 6, area councils in the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday.
For an act to repeal the electoral act, state and area July 2021. I so.
Okay.
I represent the people of Berijaku School from Yebiduku. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Chief.
Electoral. Cleaver, please move that the House.
Right Honorable Speaker, Ogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the people of Tudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency, the Council of Chiefs, and indeed a bridge builder across Niger, that this House do resolve to Committee of the Whole to consider the report. I so move.
If the other reports.
The House should present to the committee to consider the Electoral Act. I so move. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
God bless you, Chindiri.
Guy, this is the case to say, ayes have it. House hereby resolves to the Committee of the Whole.
Are you ready? I'm here. The first bill to be considered is that of establishment of Federal College of Education, Goza, Borno State, and for other matters. Plus 1. Plus 6. Go ahead with Bono. Go ahead with order.
That's why we are. I don't have that bill.
I did announce that the first bill to be considered is for that of an act to establish Federal College of Education, Goza. Say it before we start the consideration. 10 plus 10, 11. Plus 17, B, plus 24, plus 25, plus 26. Explanatory remarks. The next report to consider is 8 of 2000 mechanism for realizing the objective of the Principal Act in providing a contribution scheme. Plus 1. 3, 8, 14, 20, 21, Secretariat, try. It's more of conference for that one. Number 6, area councils in the Federal Capital Territory election and for related matters. HB.
Amendment bill is made up of 2 deals with the staff of the commission. Part 5 deals with political parties. Part 6 deals with electoral offenses, with miscellaneous election guidelines and manual parties not later than for substitution of candidates, of names of candidates only. Inconclusive. Penalties and payments available to the commission later than 180 days to deduce and submit a fresh candidate to the commission to provide meaning, presiding officer, and all other definitions. Then section 156. The committee observed and made the following changes in the electoral bill 2021. Section 23 of the bill dealing with offenses A of the bill under offenses changing candidates was candidate is carried out. Be a process for updating a party's existing logo. Section 1
maybe it's not point of order.
Response of political parties was education by the Commission was these errors were noticed at 2021. Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues, having completed this crucial assignment very as recommended in the
well done job.
That provided for the election where the section is not cited. The reason being that if there is an amendment to the Constitution, the second amendment, it still remains by the Constitution in this bill referred to as the Commission. I so move, sir.
By Honorable Chinda to make this document timeless and to accommodate amendment.
Section 2.
Amendment, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Chairman, sir. Offense, Section 85, to conduct periodic checks. Thereafter, Section 2, sir.
About to put the question on 4, said he has observation. Clause 4.
Which exclude the auditor and records in respect of an external
agencies that accounts are establishing that to nominate.
This section, 5, the Auditor General only receive. The Commission will appoint.
No, sir. Mr. Read the provisions of the Constitution, sir. In subsection 2 of this section, it is agencies, sir, that the Auditor General can send the accounts back to the Commission for consideration by the board and thereafter send it to the Auditor General of the Federation, Mr. Chairman, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Chairman, I think is the phrasing. Commission shall keep account to be audited.
There is already a motion on the floor.
My name is James Abiodun Faleke. I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Toby. I so second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 5 as amended.
Yeah, distinguished honorable colleague. And shall be in compliance of Section Act of 1995. I so move.
I thought you just move an amendment to consistent.
No, there's already 3. I'm adding that.
They are already been carried. If no, that's what's been done.
Yeah, you can back it up. Why not? Senate came with such reasons. I think it's better when we are doing this law to allow it slow. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Zay Carlo, I represent the.
Yes, have it. Okay.
I so therefore wish to move, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Well, I want to go.
Mr. Chairman, we are talking about democracy.
To the amendment.
People don't 1 hour, 1 hour.
So, thank you.
Still representing Etios Wale, okay? I so second.
7. Clause 7. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, mine is an addition, is and states.
Yes, sir. Can you take it? What does he have?
And it's saying at other locations, I so move.
Mr. Chairman. That is captured. What you are asking, so that we do not model the good. Clause 23.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, if you see in the remarks, refer 117. It deleted in 117 because.
Well, thank you. It's a good observation.
Hello, sir.
You say we should.
Yeah. Chairman 7. So even when we buy that, it is captured. Thank you. The gavel has gone. I said the gavel has gone. Huh? Drop the gavel. That's the rule.
Sir, my name is Onofio Luke.
Thank you.
The decision on clause.
Chairman Judiciary.
Those in favor of the motion.
Opportunity Onofio Luke. 1893 Ibom Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, we have the same scenario to registration of voters. We have left them in both, so we must add
in 117. Be fair to them, and that's why we want to carry.
Is retained is in
Go to 117. Why this particular provision?
And 190.
Is the same? Yes,
You look at paragraph action of voters at the center, fine of 1 million.
Still on it?
Yes.
As a flow.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, 24, 1A.
Please, you go take it again.
Which provides makes a false statement, 117 of this bill, to read in section 11.
The arrangement of activity very much later. It doesn't add up. Yes. Rather than waiting section 11.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That retain 23 to be the offense. And even the offenses stipulate, and it's better. I saw some, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Seconder.
As ably put by Chief.
I represent all the people of Etsako. Registration center. It only talks about buying and selling of voters card. So we should be careful when we are talking about the two offenses.
So that we don't make mess of you Well,
my name is Honorable Shoko.
I hereby move.
There's a bit. So, as a minute, got it? I'm holding on for you.
Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on civil matters as to section 31 sub. Is there any aspect in the affidavit or against that candidate seeking occasioning hardship on 22 whereby I have your protection agency? Yes, it should go to federal. That's my amendment, sir.
Honorable Luke, he has not moved any amendment. What is the amendment?
State High Court. That's my proposal, sir.
Seconder.
Allow it to.
Seconder. Yes.
To the court. Okay, Mr. Speaker.
You are to second. You are not to argue. You are to second. Amendment say aye. Again.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
We are past that one.
Thank you, sir.
Be guided by our rule. 32. 5. Be patient. Let's finish the. Please. On what? This is for us. Page what?
Mark Seguila, 1. And if no amendment to the bill, Mr. Chairman.
In many instances, I have. No.
Is as regards 36(3)(b). 36(3)(b). B, letter B. And last paragraph. So provided that it can nominate a new running mate and make it continue with.
Frederick is my Honorable Faleke. I so second.
I thought we should take a view. Please. As amended. Carried?
Mr. Chairman, in the long title, area councils and the chairmanship election to continue with the election. We include
the area councils because allow us to make FCT.
Sir, as of now, until we amend the constitution.
But that was what he told us to delete the other one so that we'll be able to carry along. We don't have to. You know. 11 and 12.
It's just in a manner reflect those other situations. If what Honorable Faleke said,
that I want us to take
Leader.
FCT, it means we are the
of the Constitution. Read it. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just trying to say that 236 this. So I'm just saying that
It's not an amendment. Carry it. It's not area.
Hold on. Hold on.
No, sir. Political parties.
There, in relation to the right of polling agents to inspect materials before commencement of Mr. Chairman.
At times,
whether polling agents could inspect materials of polls, Mr. Chairman, I think, sir.
I want to look at the bill effect. No, please.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, that there must be an attempt or not, we may be.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Mr. Chairman, polling agent. I'm proposing, in the proviso, sir, on page 50, holding elective.
50.
Sir. So, Commissioner, government, and who has not resignated.
I don't know where you are.
Please. Sir, my proposals. So, to subsection.
On the same page. What exactly?
For the first time, sir, I quite agree with my. I don't know, we should delete it.
48?
Zakat, they displayed me, Mr. Chairman.
Bambidele, Honorable. I don't know whether you truly want us to proceed.
48.
Colleagues,
Mr. Chairman.
come back later. I've said this don't consideration. Zakari, sit down. Look, sit down.
He has ruled on 45 to make this my the display of ballot of supplied my amendment, Mr. Chairman.
The guns to come over and take over. So you give them access. You have been inspected. It has been inspected. So who are not very much have been. Yes, Chinda. Shaba, I thought I would recognized. You can proceed.
It appears to give technological device deployed for 3, page 54. And another election, result of the election in that polling unit. Well, I know that the intention is to leave, so it will read and declaration of.
Mr. Chairman, drafters, here is very clear. Voters fails to form stop. Now the will substantially will no, subsection 3. Hold on, Mr. Chairman. I'm in subsection 3. Subsection 3.
Thank you. As for me, I thought what divided the result was socially. Thank you.
I have a right to
say. The ayes have it.
3.
Okay.
The same 49.3 or any
electronic
other
device.
technological device. The question then remains: what do you mean by any other tech? Mean anything? It could mean your son. If at all, if we look at it,
Other technological devices, quote, any other should censor.
what I'm saying, we have smart card readers. That's what we're using. So why expand it to mean, Mr. Chairman? What I'm saying, beyond smart card reader, that we want to amend, I want to leave it. You want to.
Honorable colleagues, I write or any other.
You are not arguing now. For the amendment, say aye. 1.
Mr. Chairman, should interrogate why the committee was talking about transparency. Illiterates out there who cannot read or write. 52-1. That is, because open secret can still be manipulated. My amendment will be for open.
To your colleague in silence. That's what. Yes, sir.
Heavily moved by a leader.
My honorable colleagues, of the electoral action that in hard copy, I so move in the
Amendment. Intrude into my own rights. Honorable Governor.
Well, 52-2 amendment.
Yes.
Amendment. Sir. Amendment.
Colleagues.
Which one? There was no support.
I want to make an amendment to voting at an election and transmission of results under this bill shall be
by camp leader and electronic tracking.
An election and transmission of results under this bill shall be done electronically.
Voting is by card reader.
Please, order.
I think
my is that my amendment is to the effect that transmission of results under this bill, under the election, shall be by electronic transmission. I so move.
Well, please, let's have good conduct. Please, let's be guided. Please, I want to beg. It is part of my responsibility here to guide so that we can arrive at a very good, reasonable position. And I want to believe that today in Nigeria, I don't know the coverage of the broadband. Have we been able to cover all parts of the federation that we now want to put it? I don't know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, sir. I make bold to say, you can go and verify in my constituency we are not more than 20% coverage. I make bold to say that one. So except if you want to differentiate some of us, I make bold to say that one.
Chairman, Chairman.
Yes, call.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I have the floor.
Go ahead.
I have the floor. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I am Kiruka Onyejocha, member representing Isuku Akomudochi Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State. I rise to second that the election results to be transmitted electronically. I so second.
No. What did he say? Thank you. Please.
Is it the house of the places?
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. Let's have it. Don't point at hand at me. Don't point at me. Don't point at me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't point at me. One by one. Honorable colleagues, honorable colleagues, order. Honorable colleagues, order. Honorable colleagues, order. Yes. Honorable colleagues, order.
On conduct. On conduct.
Sit down. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Point of order. Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Your seat.
Everybody sit down. Sit.
Honorable Zachary. Go sit.
The decision of the chair is being challenged.
Honorable members. Honorable colleagues, please can you have your seat?
Chairman.
Honorable Fan, you have your seat. Resume your seat. Please resume your seat. Resume your seat. Resume your seat.
53, sir.
Honorable Councillor, resume your seat. Presiding officer, I don't want to be that.
Section 53, chairman, sir. Amendment paper.
Honorable colleagues, please can you have your seat?
52 to
Bring amendment.
Oh, no.
Where are we?
Honorable colleagues, please can you receive your seat?
The chairman, point of order.
Point of order.
This is the account.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Bogus, you are distracting the chairman. Point of order.
Before your point of order, please.
Can you have your seat at the
Certain rules have prescribed and the constitution. That it happened. And you was abusing me. Wait a minute. Well, it's part of the burden of leadership. Anna, our rules have set for we're using forward, but with their support. And what I'm expected to do is to give judgment. Important on how it's not going to be the end. And I think beyond my ruling, anybody can go and in this room only. But for the entire country, and I make bold to ask, those who are insisting, and we should all be for it because we want transparency, what happened to them?
Mr. Speaker, sir. Maybe. Mr. Speaker.
Today, in Maiduguri, they enroll for WAEC.
Honorable colleagues. Honorable colleagues, please. Okay, take a seat.
Fly. James Abiodun Faleke, I represent Ikeja. Mr. Chairman, I move under clause 52(2), wish to amend as follows. Voting at an election, both in... Point of order. Point of order. Order.
Yes, sir.
Point of order, sir.
Yeah,
on
point
him.
of order.
Thank you, sir. Kingsley Chinda. Praised.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. My point of order is under Order 9, Rule 6, which says that it shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the House has come to a conclusion during the current session. Mr. Chairman, you have ruled on this issue. We cannot reveal that I think Honorable Toby has raised is to ask for a proper division of the House. That's the only way forward. We can't revisit it.
Mr. Chairman said, well, first of all, we have to explore all possibilities because this is the main item. When he said that you had already, the ruling or the amendment by Honorable Toby was Faleke. It's a different amendment. That question has not been put. The amendment by Honorable Faleke is for electric and manual. So that's a totally different question, which by our procedure, that question must be put. Seconded and put. They will remain neutral, but I'm going to try as much as possible. And we should do electronic, whether it is man down. Those who want manual cannot impose that on those who want electronic. Those who want electronic cannot impose that on those who want manual. What we need to do is vote and let us accept the vote. If at the end of the day we are the quagmire, then we explore other means. If on this particular day, if at the end of the day the result remains the same, we would have known that we have explored different from us alone.
Chairman, our honorable member, own understanding and my own opinion about from the floor or on this note, on this particular observation you made, Mr. Speaker, I stand here to under moral commitment say, when a matter is raised here and a boy's vote is taken, the gavel is hit, it's a concluded matter. It's a concluded matter. You can only reverse a matter that is decided and is concluded. That is my take. If you have to follow procedure, you must have to be here. It's for us to determine here. We will not receive. That is my position, Mr. Speaker, and so I so submit. Mr. Chairman.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman, point of order. Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Point of order, Mr. Look. Thank you, sir. And Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, my name is Onofio Luke, 18 and 3 Bomsurubium Federal Constituency. And I believe that this time calls for us to look at the interests of the country and look at the things that Nigerians had voted and given us their mandate to speak here. Rule 1 and sub 6. And the basis on which I come, Mr. Chairman, is that as the chairman of this committee of the whole, you led debate. You can't to canvass for their own position, gave facts. And so I believe that members acting under Order 1, sub Rule 6, should be given opportunity. He wants us to go. So I want to move, sir. I want to move 1, sub 6. We rely on order. The combined reading, Order 11, sub 2, sir, to call for voting on this issue.
Well, I don't know. First, or presiding, try to guide the house. So why are you treating me as an administration? And these are the things I keep on advising. That no point as Nigerians who we truly was done. So we could take his own question, and I do not want us to be, please. Well, maybe let me make a ruling on what my brother Honorable Chinda brought. We are not attempting to put question on the same subject matter and transmission. Now you have.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, it has become very imperative for me to stand up to address an issue.
Sergius, Honorable Sergius.
Honorable Sergius.
You are quite very welcome. Yes, sir. Thank you.
It has become very imperative for me to address a particular issue where Mr. Speaker spoke on the mode of our procedure. Toby, the Deputy Minority Leader, made an amendment, and you ruled based on his amendment. Have you ruled on that? Any other person can bring up any other amendment, or you now put a question based. I'm trying to say that what it is not. He didn't. What he's saying is that even though he had ruled on Toby's amendment, another person can also bring up an amendment.
But I have ruled in that direction.
Exactly.
I have ruled in that direction. Yes, Seconder.
After this person, yes. After this person, yes.
Seconder. Yes. No.
Hold on.
The only way to get satisfaction is to vote on it.
Hold on.
By division of the
Like there's a motion on ground, so it's you are recognizing.
The issue.
Please, sir, please take your seat, sir. Please. Take your seat. You have a motion. Nope. Yes, sir.
No, I'm seconding.
My amendment, clause 52(2), is to the effect that transmission and electronic. I didn't put voting. I said transmission of results under this bill shall be both electronic and manual. That is my amendment.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, point of order. Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
My name is Wale Raji.
Point of order.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Yes, that is.
not continue to get.
No. We are going to divide the house. Yes.
Go back on your motion.
Yes.
You should divide. We don't agree on the voting. Let's go back on it. What we want to achieve is this thing so that.
Police, please, can you go back to your seat? I know now. Yes. Honorable police, nobody will answer. Say that throw away. I'm telling you, somebody went there now.
I think that's what it should do.
Yeah, but them they don't want to do that.
No, it should do that. It should do.
That it is obvious that people are not satisfied. Chief Whip, Honorable Mungunu, come and do your work. Honorable colleagues, please go back to your seats. Honorable colleagues, go back to your seat. Honorable colleagues, please, can you go back to your seat? Go back to your seat. Honorable colleagues, go back to your seat. Honorable colleagues, go back to your seat. Honorable colleagues, go back to your seats. Honorable colleagues, go back to your seats.
Members should please go back to their seats. All members should go back to their seats. Members. Go back to your seats. Boma, please go back to your seat. Boma, go back to your seat. Go back to your seat, please. Go back to your seat. Seats. Members. Seats. Victor Okoro.
It's just because we're not guided by this.
Commence not. That's why they are fighting for it. Because ẹ tó jẹ́ sábà ẹ tó wà ní INEC ẹ tó wà ní INEC ẹ tó wà ní INEC èèyàn family yóò kù. Sit down. I will send you out of the house. I'm a chairman now. Everybody sit down. What he said is that some places there's no network. I said no. Like just this our home. Where here there's no network. People are sending messages you are not getting. When you go out, people are not. So when we go there, if there's no network, they send the result. When we reach where network is, and if you got the time, that is for send. So many local but if you go here, then get to the villages when you then they count what they don't get camel. That is why representation. No, you know they win every time. You know they time down. They count itself and number.
Go back to your seat.
back to your seat. Senate say their own that provided that Nigeria is not right, provided that NCC will come and meet INEC and they bring the proposal to National Assembly to approve before they use electronic. It's dead now. Look at NCC, that academy. Honorable colleagues, please can you go back to your seat? Go back to your seat. Go back to your seat. See what
you don't only have you are not a Jimmy now. So you take over.
Honorable colleagues, Honorable Kazara, lead your group back to their seats. INEC Deputy Chairman, go back to your seat.
That is wrong. You are lying. I'm not lying. It's a lie.
Honorable,
Senate. What? Excuse me. Is Atiku more important than Tinubu? That you are telling me that you don't know Atiku is criminal in mind. You don't know him. Everybody is a criminal. You are a criminal. I'm not a criminal. No. We are talking about Nigeria. You're talking about Atiku. What kind of rubbish is that? Atiku is not small-minded.
Divide the house. That is it.
I beg. The last year one.
We are past that level. Give me my seat now. Give me my seat.
Honorable colleagues, go back to your seat. Go back to your seat.
Give me my seat now. Please give me my seat. Please.
I will send my people to flog all of you.
We are not making law for Tinubu and Tinubu. And it's not the presidency alone.
My friend.
Elections are for everybody. No, I'm not interested in Tinubu or Tinubu. They can be president. They can be governor. Give me my seat. The electoral act must be president.
Let me give you my seat.
Go to your seat.
I'm talking about my election. You're talking about Tinubu.
Honorable colleagues, please can you go back to your seat? Go back to your seat.
No, because
Colleagues, yes.
Honorable colleagues, please, can you go back to your seat?
Can you show the Well,
Honorable colleagues, please, can you
we
go
can
back to your
proceed.
seats? Resume your seats.
We can proceed under this very rancorous atmosphere. So what I will beg is that we will revert to plenary, report progress, and adjourn the House, and fix another date for the consideration of assumption. Thank you. Leader.
Point of order, sir.
Thank you,
Point of order,
Mr. Chairman. My respected colleagues.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Alassane Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I represent Dogwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I rise to move that in the light of the circumstances we found ourselves, that this House do revert to plenary and report progress. Thank you.
Point of order. Point of order.
We are not going back to plenary.
Point of order. Point of order.
We are not going back to plenary. We have not finished with the ruling.
Point of order.
Yes.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
I represent the people of Isugwa Tumuno Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second that the House do revert to plenary. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay.
Nay.
The nays have it.
Yes. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
House is hereby to revert to plenary to report progress. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered the report on the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Education, GOZA, Borno State, and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 28, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the report accordingly. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Health Institutions and Services on the bill for an act to amend the National Health Act 2014 to define basic minimum package of health services, provide more mechanism for revealing the objective of the principal act in providing free healthcare services to all Nigerians without prejudice to the requirement of the payment of the compulsory scheme stipulated in the National Health Insurance Scheme Act and for related matters, and approve clauses 1 to 26, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the bill for an act to make comprehensive provisions for the prohibition of punishment of sexual harassment of students by educators in tertiary institutions and approve and for related matters. Approve clauses 1 as amended, 2, 3, 4, 5 as amended, 6 as amended, 7 to 22 to 23 as amended, 24 as amended, 25 to 36, 25 to 35, 36 as amended, 37 as amended, 38, 48, 49 as amended, 50 to 54 as deferred. My brother, what are you reporting? That is not the report we consider. We didn't consider this report.
It was the amendment that was moved over.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker.
It's not 52 is not considered. It's covered at 51.
No.
Never.
Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Electoral Matters on the Bill for an Act to repeal the Electoral Act number 6, 2010 and enact the Electoral Act 2021 to regulate the conduct of elections in the federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters, approve clauses 1 to as amended, 2, 3, 4, 5 as amended, 6 as amended, 7 to 22, 23 as amended, 24 as amended, 25 to 35, 36 as amended, 37 as amended, 38 to 48, 49 as amended, 50 to 54, and the
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order. 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 Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order. Point of order. Point of order. Point of order on this matter. 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 Mr. Speaker should go back to sitting. 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 Concluded what? None of the clauses have been concluded. None of the clauses have been concluded. None of the clauses have been concluded. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Yes. Better sit down, oh, Coco, sit down.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the report of the Committee of the Whole as reported be adopted.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move for the adoption of the consideration of reports. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Who's the question?
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Against say nay. That's have it.
Angama. Siyau kansu. A ka za ta kun kana sauri ta. Siyau kansu an gama. Wai zai bugi koko. Shi jimo wai zai da ki koko. Wai zai da ki koko. What is the problem?
I'm waiting for him outside. I'll take him to his level.
It's not that I'm going to do. wing it. Allow him. I said, leave the idiot to fight the fight. I don't know whether who you mean?
It is sunshine for nothing.
Where is the shine? Allow the idiot. Don't fight.
These are people that want to be leaders of the house tomorrow. They are trying to fight.
God cannot be those kind of idiots.
Vamos!
For the electronic.
Honorable colleagues, honorable colleagues, we will be adjourning this house until tomorrow 10 a.m. We will be adjourning the house until tomorrow 10 a.m. We will have the INEC chairman and NCC. We will have the INEC chairman and NCC to brief us. The INEC chairman and NCC will be here to brief us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on section 52. INEC chairman and NCC will be here tomorrow morning to brief us on section 52. Leader, please move for adjournment till tomorrow 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Honorable colleagues.
Speaker, we didn't hear you. We didn't hear you, Mr. Speaker. We did not hear you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we didn't hear you. We didn't hear you, Mr. Speaker.
The United House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move.
Let me repeat myself. The INEC chairman and NCC will be here at 10 a.m. tomorrow to brief us on section 52. Adjourn till tomorrow 10 a.m.
2021 by 10 a.m. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And my distinguished colleagues, I remain Comrade Peter Akwatusin. I support the motion that this House do adjourn to 10 o'clock tomorrow Friday. I so support.
The House stands adjourned till tomorrow 10 a.m.